The debate on Kenya's political system resurfaced as an international conference on inequality kicked off. Kenyan senators Professor Nyang' Nyong'o and Bill Okero say the country's cutthroat competition for the presidency is divisive and should be replaced. A meeting opened by Ghanaian President John Mahama is discussing the growing gap between the rich and the poor in Africa. KTN's Joe Agiona reports from the Ghanaian capital.
At the Accra International Conference Center, a true African welcome. But the sound of music here camouflages a disturbing face of Africa. An increasingly angry face.
If ever this government is not ready to listen to us, then violence maybe will make them listen.
And the president of Ghana says the time for discussing inequality in Africa is now.
Africa is without doubt the perfect place for such a discussion on inequality.
So we know it is citizens that are calling for action.
And that is because Africa is the second most unequal continent after South America. And 7 out of the 10 countries with the biggest gap between the rich and the poor are found on the continent.
This growth will not be sustainable unless we properly address the issue of wealth inequality in our societies.
In a society where there is inequality, it becomes very difficult to attain social cohesion within the society.
It is really what I can call the gridlock for development in Africa. Areas that have historically been marginalized must get a little more and must be a little more empowered than areas that have been historically advantaged.
Some politicians now think it is time to look at fixing politics itself.
In spite of the tremendous advances we have in the present constitution, like devolution, we have not solved the political jinx. That means that rather than every 5 years engage ourselves in fratricidal wars, choosing a president which is more divisive than unifying, let's do away with the presidential system altogether and have a parliamentary system.
Because we've been used to this presidency and the tax that go with it and, the power that goes with it and all those, every time the debate comes up to changing the system, then those who have had the benefits really would tend to think that we must retain that system.
Now, this conference is by no means a top decision-making organ, but delegates here hope that they can inspire a bigger conversation on what is now by many accounts one of the biggest threats to stability on a global scale. Jogeo, KTN, Accra, Ghana.